Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Vincent, lead support of TrainLine Europe at Paris. I'm gonna just present you some tips of, and tricks and how we do support at TrainLine Paris. So if you don't know us, we are a website that allows you to buy train tickets on the internet. We were founded like an alternative to the dreaded voyagesintéresse.com at the airport, because now they really progress. And now we became really European, so you can use us to buy tickets in nearly 20 European countries. Our main markets are France, Germany, Italy, and now Spain. So this is us. We have a nice website for that. Just train tickets, no hotels, no insurances, just train tickets, and mobile apps, Android and iOS. So yeah, when you have a website like this, you need a customer service, evidently. What are the situations we can deal with? Why are customers ever writing to us? Well, yes, just our channels. We do mail only. We do not have a phone. So only writing, asynchronicity. It's mail, Twitter, and Facebook. We're right now in 5 languages, and we answer in 5 languages. And we have 15 dedicated support guys now, and 2 dedicated developers for internal tools for support. And we also have an everybody on support program. It's more like half a day per month than half a day per week. So what are the situations we deal with? It's quite a lot of different situations we can deal with. Like, the thing is, we are a service, an app, like, and it can have bugs or ergonomy problems, or you can just ask yourself how you do this action. Okay, so this is more here. But we sell tickets from train companies, and we have to know the product we are selling, which are train tickets, and all the situations related to train tickets. Like, for example, you can have this thing that can be annoying for our customer service, a strike. And yes, customers do contact us like, oh, my train was cancelled, and what do I do? And you have to be able to help the customer in this case. And in the middle, you have annoying things that doesn't always work, like payments. And you have all the ticketing things, like ticketing systems can be horribly complicated to know why you get a price. Like, oh, I noticed I don't have the good price. Why? Let's see. Is it Dutch band? Is it SNCF? Is it, yeah. So quite a lot of a wide spectrum. It brings me to ask myself, what is support? Because when Tim asked me to do a presentation here, I was like, okay, he wants me to do a technical support presentation, but the situations I'm dealing with are mainly with just trains, not our apps. So yes, when we do technical support for software, it's kind of okay, because you can have few support guys per user, or even no one, like here. It can be, it is quite techy, and like startups now have the good habits of having people that answer technically and accurately to their customers about the app problems they are facing. But in theory, users should be autonomous. In theory, like when you use a software, there is no reason to really contact support, or it's not blocking. There are a lot of apps we never thought ever you could contact support. Like, you don't contact Microsoft when you have a question about Microsoft Office. Or I don't. I just look on a forum if I can find the answer. And in fact, we are more as a customer service for e-commerce. And this can be more annoying because you do have a lot of contacts per sale. And it deals with real life situations, like trains. If you have a startup that, I don't know, allows you to rent a car from someone else, well, you have to know at one moment what is a car, and expect someone to just call you, I've got a flat tire, how do I do now? Okay, and in fact, this kind of more customer service client is the thing that most of classical companies who buy goods or service across the world do usually. So the usual solution for that, there is a lot of things that they don't have an app or a button to do, to just do the thing. Like you want to résilier your phone abonnement, you have to call Orange or change it. You often don't have to do it, cannot do it online. So you put a call center abroad with a lot of people that, in fact, that doesn't really know about what they are selling. And, well, is there another way of doing this? At Captain Train, somehow, we just did a startup support, kind of support, but just for commerce and travel, while all our other competitors in selling travel just do it the old-fashioned way. So we did it because, like, we're startup guys. We really didn't think a lot about it, and also because we had no choice. We have a fast grow. We are a fast grow company, so if everybody is contacting us, we cannot deal with that. So we have to fix problems before customers contact us. We have competition, and like train tickets at TrainLine are at the same price at the competition. So if you don't have a really perfect customer service, the service difference is not a lot for the customer, and also we make low margins. It's not a very high margin market. So what do we try to do for selling our train tickets? Well, we try to be professionals and know our stuff. So just the customer knows that when he writes, he knows that the human behind is understanding his problem and knows what he's talking about. We provide the accurate answer, or we solve the problem. Like, he has a question, I don't know, my carte voyageur, I don't have the points, etc. We just give the real answer. Second thing, we try to be fast. So really, we try to see where our customers are happy about. It was mainly that we were fast. We tried to answer le temps de réponse médian, half our tickets, in less than 2 or 1 hour. It's complicated, but we try to achieve that. And also, like, customers don't like to be sent from one service to another and repeat what they already say to another support guy, like call 3 times your phone operator to get the same problem fixed. So just say your problem once, get the problem resolved, done. And when your customers have this kind of service, whatever you are selling, already this, just having the good answer and fast, they're really happy. It's amazing, but like, we are used to deal with many customer service in our daily life that just doesn't deliver these two things, that just when you get that, customers are really happy. Next thing, well, we try also to be human and do the extra mile. So yes, we try to write correctly and write in a support way that is easy to understand, etc. Put real empathy in it, and do the small extra step, like really care about your customers. So at this point, your customers are usually like that, and that's as simple as that, just delivering good customer service. And yes, this is going to be treated in the next presentation, so I'm not talking about this, but the real thing we try to think at each email we receive is how we can avoid this email in the future. There is no thing that cannot be solved directly in the product. This is a very strong belief that we have, but I think it can apply to a lot of service. Why do you have, like, for example, if you sell clothes, why do you have people calling you for sizing questions? Just put a nice sizing tool in your product, and that's done. You avoid hundreds of contacts. If you have people asking when are train tickets released to sell, just make something about that and take down emails and obviously solve bugs, solve problems, solve things that are unclear in your product, and have less work. Okay, so that's more or less what everybody says and everybody is trying to achieve. And the main question we have for Captain Train or now TrainLine is, but yes, you achieve that, but how do you do that? What is your real secret? And I'm gonna tell you our real secret now. Any idea about that? Well, it's just about the people that are answering. It's just you have to get people that are here to answer and that know the answer. So this is our support team right now. So say hi to everybody. And we have the whole rest of the company, but all these people are just dedicated to our customers and they really, really do a nice job. Well, how do you have such people giving accurate answers and nice answers to your customers? First, well, you have to get that from your company. I mean, this kind of support cannot be achieved if your boss doesn't really think that support is not an externality, a cost you have to put away in another country, etc. They have to believe that it's the core service of the company. Jean-Daniel Guyot had this vision for Captain Train, and this is how we achieved that. And yes, I really think doing support is a real profession. It's not like something you do in your 20s only when you're a student to earn money. It's skills. And writing skills, for example, we'll come to that later. And skills have a cost. So you need to just hire, pay quite good salaries. And we have a hardcore hiring process. So it's skills, let's try to evaluate them. What do we look for? We look for typonases, like people that have just write correctly in their language. And that's not that easy to find. Like we have a lot of people making mistakes dans les emails de candidature. And when you have that, you say, okay, you're gonna answer emails every day of your life. Come on, you cannot work here. We try to find people that are really nice and nice and nice and nice again. And we can evaluate that. That explains clearly that have a tech sensibility. I mean, they must understand how works the product. And if there is a problem, more or less, where is the problem? And loves travels because we sell train tickets. And we try to hire people that have a little thing extra. At this point, you say, yes, you're hiring unicorns. And we do receive a lot of job candidates, and yes, l'entonnoir est vraiment très étroit, but we achieve to find people at the end with all that. So our hiring process involves at one moment just tests about your future job. So we send emails, anonymized emails from our customers, and see how the people answer, and then we evaluate and we just look at each comma and say, oh, you can work with us or you cannot, or well, try to evaluate all these things. And after people are arriving in the company, well, we have training, because when they arrive, they know nothing about e-commerce, about train travels, or about how an app works under the hood. So it's a perpetual training and learning, and we have an internal knowledge database. And at one moment, even with training, you can't answer to every question. So we also have Slack channels dedicated for customer support to ask information to other people of the company if they can find it. Okay. So this is well, the real another thing, but I'm not gonna talk about that. You need to have good tools. We have 2 dedicated developers. Just if you have a back office that gives you the relevant information, that gives you error messages, that gives you access to logs, it's quite easier to understand what happened. I can give you a screenshot of our back office, but it's really awesome. So this is it, and use a nice support desk software. In reality, we use like a German open source software that is called OTRS that we just adapt to our needs. That's the interest of having internal support guys, like they just adapt the thing. Well, let's come to the technique. How do we answer email? I don't know if you're familiar with the zero inbox process. If you have some time to spend, take this course online, Revive Your Inbox. It just learns you how to keep your personal inbox clean and not be stressed about it. It really works. Awesome training online. So this is more or less the process you should apply to your personal emails. Just defer, do an answer, or archive. But at the end, everything is archived and your inbox is always empty. You just have the last emails and you treat them immediately. When you do zero inbox in support, well, this is more or less how we try to do things. First, if you start treating an email, just treat it, lock it on it, and do it, even if you don't know the answer. Because if you don't do that, like you will go out of this email, someone else will pop in, see, read it again, so time lost, and say, oh, this seems complicated, pop out, so just read. If you don't know how to treat it, learn it from the others. So lock on it, say, and then call for help for your other support guys. They're here to learn you your job. If there is an action needed, well, do it now. You can't really answer for now, but you can just launch an investigation with a developer, and you will have the results later. Do it now. And if you need to reply something, reply. Sometimes it's just the end of the conversation. You go back to an email. There is nothing to say, so nothing to say. But if you need to reply something, reply. And after that, close the ticket, so archive it, or eventually defer, put a reminder for after, but make it disappear from your inbox. So all the job is about, okay, I have this thing, I have to make it disappear from my inbox just now, as quickly as possible. So start either by the oldest or the newest tickets that are not locked on you. So we all know that in reality, this thing is not really that much happening. So all these tickets usually are the crappy ones. So in your day, what we do is we try to say, okay, I'm gonna dig in the end of the inbox, take the difficult tickets and cases, treat it, and then for a lighter mood, take the up of the emails, which are the most easy one, and do 3-4 ones to just relax, and then go back again on a complicated case. The thing is, you're not alone, so you need to collaborate with others. So that are the rules we put in place. So if you are already the owner of a ticket, like you are locked on one and have a follow-up, a reply, the conversation is going on, this is your priority. Just don't take any new requests for customers. You're the only one that can answer it. So just do it first, and then only take tickets where there is nobody on it. So really, don't let things pile up like, oh, I'll answer to that later, because at the end you end up with a pile you can deal with, and there will be still new tickets that will not be treated. So treat it is just this way. So sometimes it's just reading the answer, saying, oh, the customer is happy, there is nothing more to do, just close it. But do it disappear. Then, once you're free, you can treat other tickets. So you can treat tickets without owners or the tickets of absent colleagues the same way. If it's something for someone that is not here at support, you can just defer it for when he's coming back. Like if he's in weekend and he comes back on Monday, the customer will understand that sometimes someone cannot be there. If there is really an urgent answer needed, take his case, reply for him. That's what we do. And you can more or less treat the same way in your day tickets without owners or tickets of absent colleagues. The reality of what is happening is that those are often a little bit forgotten in our inbox. I think it happens a lot with support in support. This is because it's hard to just plunge yourself in a conversation that already happened for something with someone else, where there is sometimes an email and a reply, another email. It makes a lot to read, a lot to understand again. So you're lazy, but you don't have to forget this to treat tickets of your colleagues. Let's go now to answering guidelines. What we try to do, it seems obvious, but we really reply to a particular customer and email. It's not like we don't have generic answers. We write every one of our emails, like we type it, and we adapt to this case. It's not like I have generic answers for that. I answer to this customer, and this email, like the email often have questions. You know, these sentences with a question mark at the end, those are questions. You have to reply to each question in the email. It's easy to forget. Sometimes you say, oh, I've treated this email. Okay, the customer has its answer. But if you scroll back and see what is the real content of the customer email, you'll see, oh, there were sentences with a question mark here I haven't really answered. Or it's best to answer really to the exact question. Like you can quote. Quoting is the best way to avoid forgetting something or give like information that can answer to the question without really answering the question. You know, it's annoying when you hear at the radio politics, they are being asked a question and they answer on the topic, but without really answering the question. You don't want your support to feel this way with your customers. Don't make assumptions. Don't make really, you know, there is often like, oh yes, I know this case, customer has made a mistake, blah, blah, and then you go in your angry mode. That's not good. This is how you miss real bugs. Just, if you have time to spare, just look at your back office. What is happening with the customer? People, if they write you, is they really have a problem. So, okay, don't make assumptions, especially not about customer errors, and be in a positive intent state of mind. Never lie to the customer or distort the truth. It's easy to want to distort a little bit the truth. That's never, ever a good idea. It falls, enfin, ça vous revient sur la tronche à un moment donné ou un autre. Okay, and well, that's a thing we do. We don't hint, we never hint on what is being developed with us. You always get a vague answer like, nous y réfléchissons, or this kind of things. Well, this is an internal policy, but also it helps for that. Under-promise, over-deliver. If you say, yeah, we're working on that, and suddenly the developer that is on the bug cannot fix it or is on another project, the customer will be really deceived. And yes, and also just look at before sending an email, look at what you say. We will do that. You cannot avoid doing that. Like we already did a commercial gesture from the company because someone said, oh yes, your ticket, you can get a full refund by there. Ticket was not refundable. Well, we say to the customer, you can get a full refund. Commercial gesture, we refund it from our pocket because we said we will do it, so we do it. So really try to avoid making promises. And if you say to someone, you're going to get a seat in this train, and he's not getting the seat in this train, complicated. We have a lot of writing tricks, like just techniques of how to write an email for a customer. Well, I already say that, but reply to this email and to each question. Example, hi, I just realized I've booked this Prem's ticket at the wrong date. Please, can you exceptionally refund or exchange it? Your ticket condition states it's not refundable and not exchangeable. What is wrong with this reply? First, you know, the customer knows it. If he writes to you, he knows it's a Prem's, he knows it's not exchangeable. There is the exceptionally, well, word here. And so you don't have to tell him something he already knows. And there is a question like, can you? He means, can you do something? It's not like you cannot hide behind the conditions. So you say, okay, I understand why you are writing, just you can try it. I do the same thing. Unfortunately, we really can't override the conditions, so it's your problem and we're really sorry, and this is it. And here, usually the customer is not happy about the situation, but he's not unhappy about your support. And he just asked, he lost, he acknowledged it, and he passes to something else. Rephrase the situation if you really do need to. Like, this is a good trick for making your customer feel you know what he's talking to you. Just rephrase the situation he's in. He says, okay, I face someone that understands what I'm telling. That's a nice trick. You can use the word you or yours as much as you can just to put yourself in customer shoes. Like, for example, nous prenons bien en compte la carte voyageur et vous recevez bien des points et des codes avantages si vous achetez des billets chez nous. Okay, this is a nice piece of information, but we speak about us. The customer doesn't care about you. So let's rephrase this. This is how you can say, like, just talk to the customer about him, and he's really more happy about that. So this is a nice trick to put yourself in customer shoes. Another nice trick, we'll come to that later, is just having reviews from your colleagues. Extra mile, always. Well, you receive a code. Next question, what will it be? Can I use it? Yes, you can use it with us. And you avoid one email more, and the customer is like, whoa, this is a question that was anticipated. Other tricks, something that is really missing in a lot of emails is like you know a lot of things yourself, and sometimes you reply around the question of the customer or just there is something obvious but you don't say it. When you do support, be really obvious. Even if it feels dumb, like say the basic things. Don't just make it as pedagogy as you can and say the obviousness. Like it can be, you will be fully refunded of that amount also. For example, say what is happening. We already say that. This one I like it. It's avoid negative sentences. You know, like each sentence usually has its positive counterpart. Think about look at your email, look at the negative sentences in it, and think how you can rephrase it, but making a positive sentence. It really puts the customer in a better state of mood. And the word problem, if you can, avoid it. Like if there is no problem, if you use it and it's not in the email of the customer, it would just put in his head the fact that there is a problem. Well, you can avoid this and there is no problem. What we do a lot is writing reviews. You know, developers have code reviews. Well, we have writing reviews at TrainLine. So this is, for example, a Chan like writing. This is a developer on Everybody on Support, and he just asked for reviews. So this is all these tricks. We don't have really them written, but when someone arrives, we take a lot of time just to review each one of his emails and rephrase and rephrase and rephrase. And it allows also to put yourself in the customer shoes, like you read the email of someone else, like if you were receiving the email, and then you can really make it better. So we just read it and read and correct and correct. We can't do that for every email. So evidently, you do it when you arrive. During 1 month, every one of your emails is quite kind of corrected. Developers that do Everybody on Support always ask for a quick review, not always, but often. And then it's less and less, but even right now I'm one of the oldest at the support at TrainLine. I often review my emails for tricky cases, like when it's an angry customer, the situation is really complicated, just I ask for a review. Can you review it? And always have good feedback from my colleagues. And I really avoided entering a complicated case thanks to my colleagues. So that's it, more or less, what I wanted to say. I hope you liked it. And if you have questions, please do. And perhaps, je ne suis pas allé, j'ai pas été trop long. Un peu. Oh. Ouais. So if you have any questions.
Thank you for your presentation. I have two questions for you. Do you know how many tickets you can handle per day? Because I think it takes a lot of time writing dictionaries. So do you know this number?
So unfortunately, it's confidential right now information, but what I can tell you is there are cases, if you analyze it, like imagine a train traveler going wrong, terribly wrong, through Europe, okay? Just to fix it, with all the time you need it, sometimes it's just a whole working day for a customer agent. Just to make it things fixed with the 3 train companies involved, with the customers getting, well, it can be, so we don't, I can tell you, we don't have treat that much tickets per day, in fact, less than you can think before entering the company. But yes, that's it.
And the other question is about the other channel of communication, like Twitter or Facebook. Do you handle it the same way as your email communication, or do you have other process? Or
it's more or less the same way. If you for Twitter we use Respond, which is Respond by Buffer, which is really nice because it's also the same zero inbox philosophy. It has a zero inbox philosophy built in, so we can use it the same way. We restrict a little bit more the Twitter access to a few people in the team because we want to keep the same tone for everybody, and like you cannot say wrong things publicly on the internet. So more experienced guys for Twitter, but else it's the same thing. And Facebook it's more complicated. We haven't found for now our Facebook tool, so we don't like a lot of Facebook contacts because just in terms of process it's complicated in tools. We're working on that. But in theory, it's the same team behind Twitter, Facebook, and email, and we spend our day just switching from one inbox to another.
You talked about important emails or complicated emails and easy emails, but I would like to know if you have a tool to prioritize like more urgent emails. You have to read everyone to say, okay, I have to answer this one first because it's more urgent?
No, we don't. Like, at the end, the thing is, if you do this the zero inbox way, everything is treated quite quickly, and there is no point of reading something, analyzing it, and then jumping away. So you earn time if you don't do that. So we don't really prioritize. And it works from our experience.
How much I would say power does the team have if you need to do a commercial gesture? How can the support person answer the question, like should I give 10 euros or something? If it's a technical thing that has to be done, and sometimes the support person is not the best person to answer. How do you do that?
Well, what we do is, well, in terms of bugs, we're quite lucky because the devs are good, so the product have really few annoying bugs that make the customer lose money. What we do is very simple. If it is our fault and the customer lost money, we refund, and then perhaps we make an extra gesture of a few euros. That's all. And sometimes we have to ask for a developer, okay, we have access to logs or this kind of things, and sometimes we just can't analyze and say, yes, here something went really wrong, so let's refund it from our pocket. And sometimes we just have to ask someone else, like, okay, the customer says this is not what I'm seeing. Is there a bug somewhere? And you may ask for a developer, but you don't ask that much in our experience. And yes, I don't know if it answers the question.
It was also about like, can any support person decide to give like €5 more?
Okay, the policy, yes, but we try to get a peer review for each commercial gesture. Just you pick someone in your team, and you say, okay, this is the case. This is why we fucked up. This is thing. Are you okay for the commercial gesture? It's just a question of not taking the decision alone. But we are all. It's a flat team, so we have all the same responsibilities. Just peer review by someone else, and then keep the trace somewhere that someone else gives the go for the commercial gesture. Just to avoid having people making it alone by themselves. That's it. Other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.